A man comes home after a peaceful walk with his dog. For 6 hours, he simply ceases to exist. No one sees him. No one hears him. Not even the cameras installed in every corner of the house can explain where he was. The strangest part, when he reappears, he swears he never left. October 2022. Springfield, Illinois. A quiet neighborhood called Enos Park, known for its old houses, tree-lined streets, and small-town charm. It was autumn. The wind rustled through red and orange leaves that blanketed the ground. A place where nothing strange ever happened until now. David Collins, 43 years old, painter and family man, lived there with his wife Megan and their teenage daughter, Lily. Their home was one of those classic colonial-style houses, 2 stories, symmetrical windows, and a porch with a rocking chair. Charming, but with an ancient basement that was rarely used. David was meticulous. He had almost ritualistic habits. He woke up at 7 a.m., had coffee with Megan and Lily, put a leash on their golden retriever Buster, and went out for a 30-minute walk around the neighborhood. It was his morning meditation. On that Wednesday, everything seemed normal. But what happened in the hours that followed turned the Collins home into a puzzle no one has been able to solve. 8:02 a.m., the front porch camera shows David leaving with Buster. He waves to his neighbor. The morning sun is low, and the grass is still wet with dew. 8:25 a.m., David returns, but something's off. He's carrying Buster in his arms. The dog is covered in mud up to his chest. David looks tense, but walks in calmly through the front door. So far, so good, or at least it should have been. Megan, making pancakes in the kitchen, swears she never saw David come in. She clearly remembers Buster lying on the rug near the fridge, but David, nowhere. She figured he'd gone straight to his art studio upstairs, but when she checked, it was empty. David's phone was still on the kitchen counter. His keys were in their usual spot. His car was untouched in the garage. She called out for him. No response. By 11:30 a.m., the atmosphere felt off. Megan felt something was wrong, like the house was too quiet. She texted him, called his phone. It rang, then went to voicemail. She searched every room, upstairs, the basement, the backyard. Nothing. At 12:15, she called the police. 2 patrol cars arrived quickly. Officers searched the entire house, room by room, closet by closet. Even used a drone to scan the roof, attic, and nearby property. No trace, no signs of forced entry or escape. It was as if David had vanished into thin air. But what happened at 2:08 p.m. made everything even stranger. David's upstairs art studio had a motion-activated camera, one he'd installed himself to monitor his painting sessions. All morning, it had been on standby. No movement, no sound, just silence. But at 2 hours, 8 minutes, and 47 seconds p.m., everything changed. In a single frame, David appears. Sitting in his chair, back to the camera, brush in hand, facing a blank canvas. No transition, no door opening, no footsteps. He just materializes. When Megan goes upstairs and sees him, she bursts into tears. She runs to him and hugs him tightly. David, confused, asks what's wrong. He believes he just returned from his walk, that maybe 30 minutes had passed. He had been gone for nearly 6 hours, without a trace, and he had no idea. David's clothes were completely dry, but there were watermarks up to his knees, like he'd crossed a stream, or something worse. Stranger still, a thin layer of black sludge was stuck to the soles of his boots. Later analysis revealed the substance had odd characteristics, traces of decaying organic matter from a type of soil not found anywhere near Springfield. Investigators were baffled. They considered amnesia, dissociative episodes, maybe a breakdown. But then came the most unsettling discovery. All of the home security cameras worked perfectly, except those upstairs. From 8:30 a.m. to 2 p.m., the footage from the hallway, studio, and master bedroom was corrupted. Glitched audio, frozen images, looped clips playing in 3-second bursts, as if something was blocking the digital perception of that floor. Meanwhile, The cameras on the porch, kitchen, and garage worked just fine. It was like part of the house had been cut off from everything. From time, from technology, from reality itself. 3 nights later, David had his first nightmare. He dreamt he was trapped in the basement, hearing muffled voices whispering from the walls, calling his name, laughing. He woke up drenched in sweat, struggling to breathe. The next night, something even stranger. Megan woke to a soft creaking sound. When she turned on the bedroom light, she saw muddy footprints on the carpet. They started in the middle of the room and led to the door. Shaken, she installed motion sensors in the basement. On the third night, at exactly 3:17 a.m., the alarm went off. The footage showed a shaky image, and for a split second, a pale figure appeared at the bottom of the stairs. The silhouette looked exactly like David, but he had been sleeping soundly next to Megan. 2 weeks later, David moved out. He never returned to that house. Today, he lives in a 1-story home in a different town. He has one rule: never live in a house with a basement. He swears he wasn't hallucinating, he didn't fall asleep, that he didn't black out. He says that for those 6 hours, he was trapped in a place where time didn't flow the same. A place of silence, where something or someone was watching him. Stories like David's are everywhere. Buried in forgotten forums, obscure news clips, and testimonies silenced by the fear of sounding insane. People vanish for hours, days, even weeks, then come back like nothing happened. Is it just a mental collapse, or are there invisible cracks in the walls around us? If this story messed with your mind, wait until you hear about the woman who got a phone call from her own number. Click the video next to this one, and of course, like, share, and subscribe if you love a good mystery, because sometimes the scariest things don't come from outside. Sometimes they're already inside your home.